What is going on, my frosty little friends? My name is Frosty Alpha, and welcome to our Week 2 team builder for the RBL Season 4. Last week, we didn't quite go the way we wanted it to, so we are starting at a disadvantage this season as we did last season, but we always work better once we start at disadvantages. So this week, we're playing the Atlanta Altarias, and as you guys can see on the screen right now, they have a very good team. Which consists of, pull this over here so I can look directly at it. It consists of Megalopunny, Salamence, Starmie, Nidoqueen, Umbreon, Rotom Heat, Dusclops, Bronzong, Omastar, Swellow, Mawile, and Whimsicott. So, looking at his team, he has some very, very scary things, especially that Salamence. The Salamence and the Lopunny are both very scary, and that Lopunny hits extremely hard. So my deal with this team is to hopefully just beat it straight outright, and hopefully that will be the way of doing it this time. And I'm also going to try to whittle the team down so that way I can come in and sweep up. So what I am expecting him to bring, I am definitely expecting him to bring the Umbreon, the Nidoqueen, and the Starmie. I'm even expecting him to bring the Whimsicott, because the Encore Whimsicott does do quite a bit to my team. So, but I have prepared pretty heavily for it, so I am ready for it. So, should it be an issue? So, let's get into my team. As you can see, our Week 2 team. So we'll get straight into it. We're bringing again our Starscream, which is our Skarmory. This is our full defensive wall, and this thing is going to be having leftovers with Sturdy, and it is pretty much max HP, max defense, Impish Nature, rocking Steel Wing, Defog, Stealth Rock, and Roost. So this is my rock setter for the week. I thought about running double hazards, but I really wanted to have Defog because I really needed to get rid of rocks that Nidoqueen sets up. Once Nidoqueen, if I don't see Nidoqueen, I'm not going to worry too much about it. But if he does bring the Bronzong can rock as well. Same thing with Omastar and Mawile. But I have checks to those things that should easily get KO'd. So hopefully we can keep the rocks from getting up, and that won't be too much of an issue. Steel Wing is just pretty much an attack, just to throw an attack on. I thought it would be better to get the increases in the defense, especially if he goes into Salamence. This thing can eat a hit from Salamence, it can Steel Wing it back, and if it gets a defense boost, then it won't hit nearly as hard, especially if it's the Scarf Moxie Ments, which is very common. This thing also pretty much walls out Lopunny as long as it doesn't bring Thunder or Fire Punch, which I am expecting him to pretty much bring Thunder Punch, because it does do quite a bit of damage to everything on the team, especially everything that he brings. But I can also see him bringing Ice Punch as well. So I do see him bringing Fake Out for this mon as well, which is why we put leftovers on it, because Fake Out does minimal amounts of damage because of our steel typing. And it also, with the leftovers, I believe we should get back up to full HP, which allows us to do damage to him as well. So pretty much full defensive wall. I thought about putting Rocky Helmet on it, but I don't think that's going to be a big thing right now. He has one Wish Passer, which is an Umbreon, but I have already taken that into account, and I don't think that's going to be a big issue as it was last week, since I've pretty much prepared for it this week. So this is going to be our full physical wall. Next, we're going to be bringing a weird set. We're bringing Goddess again as our full special defense. As you can see, there is some defensive investments and a lot more HP investments that we had from last week. It is our special wall, and it will be our mega, so it will have very, very thick defenses both ways, which is going to be good. And this thing is going to be rocking Wish, Heal Bell, Thunder Wave, and Toxic. So there's no actually attacking move, but this thing can pretty much do something to everybody. So the only thing that can't really do anything is the Nidoqueen, but I'm not staying in on this thing with the Nidoqueen anyway. So I have other mons to handle that Nidoqueen, and it's not going to be too much of a big problem going on. So, but I definitely wanted this thing to be specially defensive. I wanted it to eat all the hits, especially hits from Omastar and from Starmie. This is a dedicated Starmie switch. This allows me to also get a free Toxic or a Thunder Wave off, a free Wish, get a Wish Pass into whatever I need to get a Wish Pass into. So hopefully this won't be a big deal, and hopefully it'll go a lot better than it did last week. So next, we're bringing our versatility. We're bringing our Mew. This is our Scarf Mew set. It's Timid Nature. It's Scarf. With the spread that this is at full, this thing actually speed ties with a Jolly Salamence. So if we do go first, we could one shot it with Ice Beam, It is a possibility, but also we could get one-shotted ourselves by an Outrage. I don't think it actually one-shots us because our defenses are pretty bulky just because we're a base 100 legendary, but it will do a huge chunk of damage to us before we take it out, which is something we definitely do not want to happen here. So definitely had to prepare for this. This thing is basically to get in and switch. I'm using 2 switch initiatives this week, and Mizukage and Versatility, both using Volt Switch and U-Turn to get up and out. Volt Switch can be stopped only by 1 Mon, which is Needle Queen, but this thing wouldn't switch in on a Needle Queen anyways, and I am rocking a Psychic type move, so this thing can one-shot a Needle Queen with Psyshock, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. It will hit hard, it will do everything I needed to do. It has every coverage move, Dazzling Gleams for Dazzling Gleam and Psyshock to hit everything else, Ice Beam for most things, Volt Switch to pretty much just annihilate anything. I might actually switch that Dazzling Gleam just because I don't think Dazzling Gleam is going to be as useful, so I might switch it for Flamethrower. I'm not for certain on that yet, but I think Flamethrower might be a good one here. I think that's what I was... Oh, no, I might go Scald. I think I'm going to switch it for Scald. So actually I am going to switch this for Scald because I definitely want to start getting these burns. So I am actually going to switch that for Scald because Scald will do a lot of... Can I please Ice Beam, please? Okay, for some reason Ice Beam got taken off. Okay, so I am going to actually switch it right now, and I'm gonna have to remember to do that before the battle. And it's actually going to be a Scald. So this actually, Scald has a 30% chance to burn. This is exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to burn. Especially because if it is Scarf Moxie Ments and he switches in, he takes a Scald, he gets burned, he becomes absolutely useless at that point. Same thing with Lopunny, unless it's rocking the Facade, which he could see. He does know I do like the toxic thing, so he could be rocking Facade for this, but I do have switch-ins and I will have other mons to take care of this Lopunny, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Next, we're bringing our sweeper, our setup sweeper. This is pretty much our main win condition. It is our Rey Mysterio, our Hawlucha. This is going to be his first match. Is coming in. He is the sub dance set, which is substitute sword dance, high jump kick, and acrobatics. Acrobatics at +2 one shots, good chunk of mons. +4 one shots, damn near everything. But like I think Needle Queen and I think it one shots pretty much everything but Mawile and Bronzong. But it pretty much does so much damage to everything else with its moves. I don't think it one-shots Dusclops just because Dusclops is so damn bulky. But at +4, it pretty much does a huge chunk of damage. This thing is not Jolly. It is a adamant nature. So once we get up to +2, it will hit a lot harder. Especially because once we get the Unburden, I can't outspeed Mega Lopunny to begin with. So once I get behind a substitute, it's not going to be that big of a deal. And once I pop the Citrus Berry, I'll outspeed everything on the team. There's nothing on this team that can touch me speed-wise. So that's why I decided to go with an Adamant Nature, because once my Unburden is up and running, he cannot touch me speed-wise. This thing outspeeds everything on the team, and especially if I'm +2 with the Sword Stance, he gets absolutely wrecked by both High Jump Kick and Acrobatics doubles in power. So I'm not too horribly worried about that. Next, we're bringing in our Goodra, Beta no Mi. And this is going to be Choice Specs Gooey. I am expecting a physical attack on this thing, so Gooey is to lower its speed, especially if it's Scarf Moxie Ments. If it is Scarfed, he will take damage. He'll do damage with, let's say it goes Outrage. He one-shots me. Gooey lowers his speed. I can bring Mew in, hit Ice Beam, instant revenge, kill it. So I'm not too horribly worried about that. This thing is Choice Specs, Modest Nature, 240 into the attack, 16 into speed. This thing is just an absolute wreck. This thing wrecks everything in its path. And this thing is meant to hit everybody in its path. Draco Meteor hits extremely hard, one-shots damn near everything on this team. It doesn't really one-shot, but it does a huge chunk of damage to everything on the team. It one-shots Starmie, it one-shots Lopunny, it one-shots Omastar. It doesn't touch the fairies, but Fire Blast, Ice Beam, and Sludge Bomb, between the three of those, wrecks all the fairies. Fire Blast pretty much one-shots both the Whimsicott and the Mawile. And since I'm not physical, it doesn't matter about the Intimidate. Swellow gets eaten by an Ice Beam or Draco Meteor. Bronzong can resist a Draco, but it still takes a lot of damage, plus Fire Blast one-shots it to begin with. Dusclops just takes a huge chunk of damage from a Draco Meteor, and it pretty much just does huge chunks of damage. And that's what this thing is. It's meant to get in for free and drop a Draco. So if he doesn't bring a Fairy this week, he has no switch-ins to a Draco Meteor. So he really has to play it safe on that. I do need to worry about the Lopunny, because the Lopunny can just about one-shot me with an Ice Punch, but it'll also have its speed lower, so it will not outspeed it. It won't outspeed my Mew, and it won't outspeed my Rey Mysterio once its speed is dropped. I believe once its speed is dropped out of the 200s, it drops well below the 170 range. I'll have to calc that and make sure that if he gets hit with Gooey, that his speed drops that far down. But this thing is meant to just come in and deliver a extremely hard-hitting hit and then pretty much switching out. So that's what we have Goddess and Starscream not packing any real type of moves this week, because it's basically meant for Rey Mysterio and Beta no Mi to come in and just hugely weaken the team, to where either Scarf Mew can pretty much take it out, or Volt Switch out, Volt Switch weaken the team, get it in, get into Beta no Mi, drop a Draco, take out a Mon, switch it out, get a thing, get a Wish into Mew, rinse, repeat. That's usually how I want this to go. So, and then lastly, we're bringing our Mizukage, which is our Greninja again. This is going to be another Suicide semi-lead. It is going to be rocking Toxic Spike, since he has nothing. He has 4 Mons that are off the ground. So, I know you're thinking, well, why bring Toxic Spikes if they're going to be off the ground? Well, one, Rocks does huge chunks of damage to most of it anyways. The Bronzong's not taking any toxic damage because it's immune anyways. But, and the other 2 Mons that are off the ground take 25% damage from Rocks. So they're already going to be weak and decent enough. Toxic Spikes is to pretty much toxic everything else and get it on timers, especially getting that Umbreon to blow its heal bells. That's what I want it to do. I want him to be able to switch, and have to go for a heal bell to get rid of all the poison on the team, and then get in Rey Mysterio for free, get it behind a sub, get a Sword Stance set up, maybe a possible 2 Sword Stance, and then literally sweep through a team. So, but this thing will also have the ability to switch out. It still has a great speed tier. It's not outspeeding Mega Lopunny or Scarf Moxie Ments, but there aren't many things. I'm not expecting the Swellow to come this week, just because I have a lot of moves that can literally insta-give one-shot it. So I don't see him bringing that Swellow, but I do see him bringing the Whimsicott, like I said, maybe even that Rotom Heat. But this thing is pretty much my counter to that Rotom Heat, because Skull damn near one-shots it to begin with. Plus with Focus Sash, you can't kill me in one shot anyways. So I can get in. Plus it's going to be rocking Taunt to stop that Umbreon. That Umbreon is a problem. And the Umbreon, unless it's packing like Moonblast, which I don't even think that the damn one gets Moonblast. I know it gets Moonlight. But I don't think he's going to be doing that. So I think he's going to be a full Cleric set. But this Taunt was pretty much specifically designed to handle that Umbreon, to keep it from wishing, to keep it from heal belling, and allowing the Toxic Spikes to rack up toxic damage in order to get it out. U-Turn is just a move that does damage, that will do damage to it. Scald will also do it. I do need to be careful. It's because the synchronization is there, so I need to be careful not to synchronize back on top of it. So I definitely don't want to get burned, but that's why I'm also bringing Heal Bell there, because I don't want Rey Mysterio to get burned, because it is my semi-win condition. Same thing with Beta. So this is the team this week. I hope that it works out a lot better. It is a semi-stall team, but I do have my my win cons into setup. So once again, we're bringing Starscream, Goddess, Versatility, Rey Mysterio, Beta no Mi, and Mizukage. So we're gonna have our battle. Probably, what time is it right now? It's around midnight my time that I'm recording this. So we're about to have our battle in about 10 hours. So there's a huge chunk of time difference between us. So hopefully that won't be a big deal. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did, as always, like it, share it with a friend, social media, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe if you really enjoy the content. So I hope to see you in the next video, which should be the post-com. I also need to do some editing for the Egglock as well, so that's going to be the 3rd episode of the Egglock is going to be going up hopefully sometime in the next couple of days. So I hope you guys had a good day. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know where I was going with that. I was going to say something else and I totally forgot. So have yourselves a good day, and remember, stay frosty, my friends. All right.